The day my sister drove while sleepy. Okay.
This happened a few months ago. I don't remember the exact date.
Yo, this some AI?
This took place in the Philippines. My mother was the one who told
Sounds
me this
dangerous.
story because I was completely unaware of it, and my sister refused to talk about it.
Yo, your sister, bro. That look exactly like you with that cut.
So my mom told me instead. My sister is 19 years old, and she's quite short for her age. She's a college student, but she also works part-time at McDonald's, which is about 20 minutes away from our house, or 30 minutes with traffic. This happened on a Sunday night, around 10 p.m. It was the end of her shift. She cleaned up what she could and said goodbye to her coworkers before heading out. Her car was parked near the exit. My parents had bought her a car the year before for her 18th birthday because they were worried about her. She's a working student, and with all the reports of kidnappings and murders in the Philippines, they didn't want her commuting late at night.
For real?
At night, she was exhausted. She had been
Don't fall asleep on the job.
Off during her shift and just wanted to get home and rest. But the moment she got into her car, she smelled something foul. Something really foul. She described it as smelling like a homeless person had taken a dump inside. She immediately turned on the AC to clear the smell, and it worked. But something felt off.
Yeah,
The
instant?
car was always clean, and it even had a cover. There was no reason it should smell like that. Still, she brushed it off. She was too tired to think about it. All she wanted was to go home. While driving, she kept drifting in and out of sleep. There was no traffic, which made it even more dangerous.
Oh no, you're cooked.
So she decided to connect her phone to the car and play music, just to stay awake. But it didn't help. At some point, she dozed off again, and that's...
Yo, what are you doing?
She lost control of the car and crashed badly. When she regained awareness, everything was upside
TikTok, do not ban me for this.
down. Her car had flipped. She couldn't feel anything, either from her injuries or from the shock. She was having a full-blown panic attack. She tried to unbuckle herself,
Not
but people
this
from
animated,
nearby
we should be
houses
okay.
rushed over to help. They managed to pull her out of the car. An ambulance arrived
W
shortly
clutch.
after and took her to the hospital. And then she lost consciousness. She woke up around 2 a.m. My parents were sitting beside her bed. There was also a police officer in the room. He had helped her at the scene, and now he was there to ask her a few questions. At first, everything seemed normal. Then he asked her something that made her uneasy.
Were you alone in the car?
My sister frowned. Yes?
I love the
Why?
animation. It's
The officer
so
hesitated.
goofy.
He had this look on his face, like he was shocked, but trying not to show it.
Yes, what was there somebody in the car? Is that the whole thing?
Then he said something that made her heart drop.
We found a homeless man in your back seat.
Oh,
Silence filled the room. The officer continued.
He had a knife on him, and during the crash, it ended up impaling him.
oh! What was bro doing? Damn, he took way too long.
My sister couldn't speak. Her mind went blank. The officer explained that the man had been hiding under the back seat the entire time, listening, waiting. Because of her condition.
What is bro doing though? Low key, I'm just saying, why do you wait that long though?
Spawn camped.
Yeah, he was spawn camped, but why was he waiting, bro? That man was playing it out. He was doing a waiting game. You think that man would have been in the backseat and already hit that up?
Officer eventually
He would have went
stopped and left the
boink
room,
and stabbed.
nodding to my parents. My parents immediately hugged her. They thought they had almost lost her. The man was also taken to the hospital.
Oh, he got
but
blurred.
Didn't survive. He had been found too late. We're just
That's crazy.
grateful
I'm not
our
gonna lie, he
sister
got karma.
made it out alive.
World
But
Bro's
even
trying to
then,
do that and he got
later,
cooked.
She refuses to go out at night anymore.
That was it. That was kind of scary. The wrong man.
I'm 18 years old and I had just graduated high school. This happened on June 28th, 2025. My mom always told
this
me
happened
that
last
no matter
year.
What? I should keep the door locked, always.
Bro
That
was just
night,
giggling in the
I was
backseat.
home alone. My parents had gone to our
Is bro
cabin,
picking his
so it was
nose?
just me, my 3 cats, and my dog. It was around 1 a.m. I was in the kitchen making food.
Oh my god, this man is chopped as hell. I can't lie.
FaceTime with my best friend, just talking about basketball, like we always do. At one point, I unlocked the door to let my dog out to pee. But before I even got the chance to let him out, someone came running into the house.
Yo, he sprinted right. Dog. What is the dog doing, bro? Ain't he supposed to be the protector? He was standing right there and let the dude walk right by. No bark and no bite.
That dog is not helpful.
Someone who lived in the house.
Oh, nah. This man looked mad creepy. Red bloodshot eyes and he got the McDonald's Vegeta hairline.
World's least helpful dog.
He came barging in. He was about 6 feet tall, dark hair, and kind of buff. At first, I thought it was just one of my dad's friends looking for him. But then...
Bruh, you thought that dude was looking for him, but he opened the door. He literally ran inside and didn't even ask or knock on the door.
And just stared at me. It was a very awkward couple of minutes. His phone flashlight was on, pointed loosely around the room.
King K. Rool.
I couldn't really make out what he was saying into his phone, but I caught a few words.
I don't know.
You were supposed to be on my side.
Why you sound like that? This man is not the Joker.
Disgusting. Then he hung up, and that's when things got worse. He started walking up and down the stairs, going upstairs, then down into the basement, over
That's what I'm saying.
Again. I tried talking to him multiple times. He just stared at me and kept moving.
Bro, get that man out of the house.
Nothing. Finally, I said, "Hey, my mom and dad aren't home. You need to leave."
Why so serious, voice?
"No." Then he started walking upstairs again.
Talking GTFO.
Bro said, no. I gotta hear that again. Hold on. I gotta hear that again.
"Hey, my mom and dad aren't home. You need to leave." He looked at me and said, "No." Then he started walking upstairs again.
What is bro's problem?
"Hey, you're not supposed to be up there. Can you please leave?" Nothing. No reaction.
What is it?
At that point, I could tell he had definitely been drinking, but it felt like more than that.
Oh my God, his neck.
It was like he wasn't even in this world, completely unresponsive. That's when I started to get really freaked out.
Also, why did Bro tell him
My nan
he was
lives
home
next
alone,
door, but she wasn't home.
Yeah, he wasn't a little smart with that. Why would you tell somebody you're home alone when there's a crack-headed guy in your house?
Either. So I called my mom. I put her on speaker just so she could hear what was happening. I even tried getting her to talk to him. That's when I suddenly grabbed my phone. He tried to say something into it, and that's when my heart dropped. He hung up, and then he started making these weird sounds.
Oh no.
I stayed calm because I knew one wrong move and things could get bad.
Bro is not like Yagami Kira.
Fast. About 30 minutes later,
Why is
I
he
managed to
looking
get
like
him outside.
that?
The second he stepped out, I ran to the door and locked it. He immediately started banging on it, screaming like a maniac. For about 5 minutes
Chill!
he was just pounding on the door and yelling. Then I saw him start moving toward the side of the house, toward the basement entrance.
The lock on the outside of
faster
the
than
door.
I ever have in my life.
The lock on the
just to
outside.
make sure he couldn't get back in. I got to the door and locked it right as he got there. He just stood at the door, staring at me, screaming. Eventually,
Oh my God.
he walked away.
Yeah,
still
go
yelling
back.
under his breath. That was the last time I saw him. Later, I found out he was arrested around 2 a.m. And I wasn't the only one he had done this to that night.
2?
One thing I know
What time was it when he was over there?
for sure now, never leave your door unlocked, even for a second.
Yeah. Who leaves their door unlocked? You left your door unlocked and thought, oh, that's a good idea. Bro.
Because it only takes one moment to end up in a situation
didn't know
like that.
True pencil horror story.
This is a story about a pencil, one that left me with trauma I'll probably carry for the rest of my life. I'm still trying to recover from what happened, and I felt like I needed to share this with someone. I don't even know where to begin. We moved.
Bro look like a me character.
Not too long ago. The previous
I
apartment
think I heard
building was
of a
at least
real-life
20
case of
years
this
old,
story
and
recently on
honestly,
TikTok.
It was so run down it almost felt abandoned. But
The
despite
style
how old
keeps
it was,
switching.
nothing truly scary
It does. The art style. They must have commissioned 3 different artists for this.
happened there.
Or actually maybe 4, because there's 4.
After we moved, everyone was excited for a fresh start. The new place wasn't that far from our old apartment, but the moment we stepped inside, something immediately stood out. There were statues everywhere, all kinds, different shapes, different sizes. Looking back, I probably should have realized something was off, right?
What, is one of them
My
gonna come
mom and I
alive?
just laughed it off, like it was nothing. We started moving our things in, and for the first few days,
That's when you turn around.
everything seemed completely fine. Then, a few days later, things changed. I started hearing something strange at night. It sounded like someone writing with a pencil.
What the?
At first, I couldn't tell where it was coming from, whether it was my parents' room or the apartment below us. I didn't think much of it, but the sound kept getting louder.
Oh nah, I would get out.
I got up and went to check my parents' room.
This girl
But they
playing
were
with
already
red paint.
asleep. That's when I felt this chill run down my spine. I just stood there,
I went out and looked, but there was no sound, and nobody was there.
frozen. I tried to go back to bed, but the sound didn't stop. It kept repeating, almost like a rhythm, like a song.
Oh my god, what's going on with her
I opened the
eyeball?
window to see if someone was outside. We lived on the second floor, but there was no one there.
Yup,
remember
I knew it.
whispering to myself, where the hell is that coming from? Eventually,
I knew it.
I tried to ignore it and forced myself to sleep.
Media literacy
Even
skills.
For several days, the same sound kept coming back, so I finally told my parents. They contacted the landlord, and what he told us made my blood run cold. He said that no one had lived in the
I knew he was
apartment
gonna say
since
that.
an incident where a young girl was killed after
Oh.
her mother stabbed her in the eye with a pencil. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. We moved out not long after that, but I know I'll never forget what happened there.
What the f- Skinwalker! Wait, what did it say?
Happened there.
The sound of bumping water jugs.
This happened last month. I couldn't remember the exact date, but I'm sure it was recent, around the time we had no classes, so I was usually at home. For context, I'm a 14-year-old girl, about 5'1" in height.
Okay, I didn't need to know all your details.
I live in a secluded place, with no more than around 2,000 people. It's usually very quiet, so I never expected something
Yeah,
like
that
this
sounds
to
like a
happen.
girl.
There are 5 people in my family, not including my niece. and
Damn,
my
they all
cousin.
look the same.
There's my mom, my dad, and my 2 older sisters. As I mentioned, I have a niece, my older sister's daughter.
Who the hell is that? That man look nothing like him.
My older sister is also 6 months pregnant with my second niece. Now on to the story. This happened the day my oldest sister got home from college, since she had just finished her semester and was taking a break due to her pregnancy. It all happened at our house. Our house is really small. We have a little patio in front before you enter the main house.
Okay,
When
nice
you walk
house.
in, you immediately see the living area, where everything is kind of placed together. The TV and drawers all next to each other. Next to the TV is my oldest sister's room. Beside that is my other sister's room. And right next to that is my room, which is closest to the main door and has a window facing the patio.
Okay, cool.
That night was like any other. My mom and dad weren't home at the time. I don't remember why. So it was
They're-
just
they're
me,
always
my
gone.
sisters, my brother-in-law, and my niece at home. As usual, around 10 p.m.
The family
I
gathering.
turned off the lights and went to bed. I have severe insomnia, so
Uh-oh.
I usually don't sleep until
Yo, that's
around
real,
3
brother. That's real.
4 a.m. That night, I was
That's real.
just doing my usual
Doing
thing,
scrolling at
either
night.
playing Roblox
Me too.
or watching something.
Roblox. Who playing Roblox at 4 in the morning?
Around 2 a.m., I heard something outside. I forgot to mention that right beside our house, we have a billiards table.
Wait,
And that's
wait, hold on.
Apparently, she does.
Hold on, go back.
I f-
What did you just say?
Around 2 a.m., I heard something outside. I forgot to mention that right beside our house,
That didn't sound right. Am I the only one that just heard a word that I can't say on here?
we have a billiards table. And that's
It
where
said
the
right
gallons
beside,
of
but it
water
didn't sound
sit.
right.
I heard the gallons bumping into each other. At first, I assumed it was just my dogs, or maybe the puppies. Then, I heard something else. It sounded like the small door on the patio slowly opening.
Wait, what?
Something else. It sounded like the small door on the patio slowly opening. That
Oh,
didn't
nah.
make
Yes, I
sense,
did
because
hear
was
what
sure
you
I had
heard.
walked-
Yeah, I think there's some accent. That's probably what it is. Cause clearly that the way there's like a different pronunciation there.
I didn't know if I should look or not, but since my window faced the patio, I decided to take a quick peek. That's when my blood ran cold. There was someone outside trying to pick the lock on our main door.
Man, what are you doing at night?
I quietly stepped out of my room, since it was right beside the door, and went
Yeah, it's the way he says right.
door to wake up my brother-in-law. He's a big guy, around 6
Bro,
foot
what do-
and well.
Bro, what are we doing at?
Unintentionally wild.
What was that stance?
Bro said, I thought he was doing that at 4 in the morning.
When he opened the door, I told him someone was trying to break in. At first, he didn't believe me, so I told him to look through my window.
Man, who the hell is this, bro? Saikuno?
He saw it. He immediately told me to get my sister to call the police. Then he went to the kitchen and grabbed my dad's machete. He was ready to fight, but he didn't open the door. Instead, he stood to the side of it, positioning himself where the door would swing open, hiding from whoever was outside. By this point, my sister had already called the police. They said it would take around 20 minutes to get to us.
Why does the guy have no eyeballs?
Since we lived in such a secluded area. My brother-in-law told me to stay in the room with my sister. Then, it happened.
World's
The
most
man
helpful
finally picked
police.
the lock and slowly opened the door.
Oh!
The moment he stepped inside, my brother-in-law tackled him to the ground. While he pinned him down, me and my sisters ran out.
Oh my god, run! Why are you running like that?
The lights and saw a man we didn't recognize. Not long after that,
Why do they have no eyeballs?
and took him away. My parents came home shortly after. During questioning, the man claimed he was just a simple robber trying to break in, but I don't believe that. There were plenty of.
Why is it? Wait, hold on. Let me look back. I gotta see something real quick.
Robber came home shortly after. During questioning, the man claimed he was just
Why is his arms move that like that? He's like,
a simple robber trying to break in, but I don't believe that. There were plenty of other houses nearby that would have been easier targets. So why choose
Bro
ours?
waving.
Let's just say he's now serving time in prison, and I hope he never gets out.
oh my god, true copycat horror story.
This happened during a summer when I was about 11 years old. I was at my father's
Don't
house
you
sitting
look at
on the
me
couch
like
in the
that
living room.
rock-eyed route.
My dad worked a lot, so
What the hell, bro? He like,
I was often home alone. I was casually watching movies when I saw my cat, Bubba, an American blue short-hair, sitting in the doorway of my
whoa,
dad's
see that eyeball in there?
staring at me through the holes of a nearby laundry basket. I called him over to me. That's when the real Bubba walked out from the kitchen entrance. meowing.
Bubba, what you doing?
My eyes immediately widened as I slowly looked at him. But the cat I thought was Bubba was still sitting in the bedroom.
Yo, he's
doorway.
in there with that eyeball. Why is he up in the
Slowly,
in the
I
bin?
lifted my blanket and held it up beside my left eye, blocking the other cat from view, not wanting to scare myself even more.
Bro, it's a cat.
I somehow managed
Ooh,
to
them
distract
Pringles.
myself by going back to my movies until my dad got home at 6 p.m. That night, when I went to bed, I eventually fell into a light, uneasy sleep. I woke up at around 4 a.m. There was a figure standing in my doorway.
Uh-oh.
It was staring at me through a
Oh.
small crack. I could only see part of its face. It was hard to tell if it was a man or a woman.
Man, I can't tell either.
Man. One eye was open, almost unnaturally so, and yet the rest of its face was completely blank. I froze in place. Without even meaning to, I found myself mirroring its expression, just staring back at
Why
it.
you copying, bro?
I tried to make sense of it. I told myself it had to be my dad. Maybe he was just messing with me. So I tried to get a reaction. I made faces at it. Nothing.
Bro.
It didn't move. It didn't react. That's when something clicked. This didn't make sense. Why would my dad
Bro
wake me
did a
up this
goofy
early?
emote.
And even if he did, he would never be able to keep a straight face.
But you think that look like your dad?
That's when I realized that wasn't my dad. My eyes widened even more. Slowly and shaking, I reached for my phone without taking my eyes off it. I opened the camera and tried to take a picture, but the moment I lifted my phone to capture it, it was gone.
It
Just
vanished.
Like that. I slowly lowered my phone.
Feels like a Nuke's Top 5
trying
story.
to understand what I had just seen. Later that day, my sister, who was 17 at the time, came over. I didn't tell her anything about what happened. We spent the day watching movies together since we were home alone again. At one point, we watched our favorite ghost hunting show.
It does feel
That
like
night,
that.
We both went to bed. The next day,
Yo, why you watching that after that?
my sister told me something that made my stomach drop. She said she had woken up at the exact same time. around
Did you see
4
the
a.m.,
same thing?
And she had seen a figure
Yep.
standing in the doorway. The same spot, the same expression. This time, it was staring at her. She said she stayed calm at first, thinking it was just her imagination, maybe influenced by the ghost show we watched earlier. But when I told her what I had seen the night before, she panicked. We told our dad.
He pulled back up.
He believed us, because he admitted he had experienced similar things in that house, but never told us. To this
Violence
day,
and despair.
I'm 19 years old, and I'm still shaken by what happened. I try to explain it away. Maybe the cat
Bro.
was just laundry. Maybe the figure was just my brain playing tricks on me. But deep down, I know there's no logical explanation. I've never told any of my
Okay,
friends.
they have no eyes
I know
again.
They wouldn't believe me. It's always just stayed within my family. So yeah, this is my story of the copycat. It still roams the house.
Whoa! Why'd it get louder? The old woman upstairs.
This is a true story, not about me, but about my two sisters. At
Oh
the
my God,
time,
you
they
look
were living together in a rented
shy.
apartment. The building was actually quite nice, clean, peaceful, and in a quiet part of the city. Everything seemed normal. One sister was job hunting, the other was supposed to be in college that day, but a fever kept her home. And that's when the woman upstairs knocked.
Is it an
It was
eyeball?
early afternoon when they heard a soft knock at the door. My elder sister answered it and felt
Why does
uneasy the
Bro
moment
look
she saw
like
the
that?
woman standing outside. The woman was old, thin, with hollow cheeks. Her eyes were unreadable. and she stood
Granny!
unnaturally still.
My daughter is in the hospital.
She said slowly.
My daughter's in the hospital.
My phone isn't working. May
My phone isn't working.
I use yours to call her?
She held out
A
a battered
girl
old
voice?
mobile phone, something from another decade. It was clearly dead.
Damn, you look old and rotten. You need to be down in the grave, I'm just being honest.
Hesitated. My younger sister, not sensing the same discomfort, invited the woman in. She sat down quietly, took the phone they handed her, and made a call. Someone answered. A woman's
Okay,
voice
I am going to
crackled through
bed
the
now
speaker,
before I traumatize
soft
myself.
and weak.
Good night, everyone.
Peace out.
Hello?
Hello, who the hell is
woman
that,
began
bro? Is
speaking
that
calmly?
the dude from Finance and Freddy's?
Me. Are you okay? Are they taking care of you?
There were replies, faint and slow, but real. A woman's voice, low and distant, but undeniable.
Why are you looking at? Why are you looking like that?
After a few minutes, the old woman ended the call and handed back the phone. Then she looked at them, smiling faintly.
You should come up to my flat.
No.
She said,
There's
Absolutely
no one
not.
there. My daughter's in the hospital and my
I'm
husband
gonna be honest, you look like you should be in the hospital too. Just being honest.
and son are both at work. I'll make you something nice to eat.
and with that, she turned and started climbing the stairs.
Why you
Both
just
sisters
following her,
followed.
not doing
They
nothing?
didn't know why. Maybe
Bro.
it was politeness, maybe pity.
You're not doing nothing and she's literally a bag of bones, bro. You can get her out of here.
Entirely. But they found themselves walking up behind her. Then, when they were halfway up the stairs, the older sister suddenly grabbed the younger one's hand. "No," she whispered. "We're not going."
That is not a female.
Stopped.
That is
The
not a
spell
female
broke.
voice.
The old woman, now at the top, said nothing.
That's bro.
She entered her flat and quietly closed the door. And as soon as she entered, they heard voices, several men speaking,
What the?
laughter, movement. But she had said she was alone. The next morning, when the maid came,
I can see
they
some of
asked
your
about the woman
messages.
upstairs. The maid looked uneasy.
She has no children.
She said,
Her husband died 10 years ago. She lives completely alone.
there
Yo,
was
who did they hire for this, bro? Yo, get me up in the studio. I'll low-key voice it over. If you see this, get me up in here. Let me be a character.
Strange things. People say she does black magic. Stay away from her.
That night, a storm rolled in. Wind slammed against the windows. Lightning lit up the sky. Around 2 a.m., one of the windows burst open. My elder sister got out of bed to close it and happened to glance up toward the apartment above.
voice actor.
And there she was. The old woman was standing in her window, watching, in the middle of the storm, at exactly 2 a.m. She didn't blink. She didn't move. She just stood there, eyes locked on them. as
Chill!
lightning
You
flashed
grandma!
behind her. The curtain was drawn instantly. She never returned, but something stayed. A feeling, a presence.
What the?
A quiet weight that settled into the apartment, as if she never truly left, as if she was still watching.
No voodoo dolls or something? Security guard horror story.
I used to work as a night security guard at a logistics warehouse on the outskirts of Phoenix. The job
What'd you do to
itself
achieve that
wasn't
before?
bad. It was mostly quiet. Truck drivers would come and go occasionally, and late-night cargo was about the extent of it. There were 3 buildings on site, connected by a long road with dim streetlights. My job was simple, sitting in the security booth, watching the CCTV.
Yo, TikTok is
and
on you.
patrolling every 2 to 3
No
hours.
comments going through.
That night, I was alone. The other guard called in sick, so I was left to cover all 3 buildings on my own. Around 1:40 a.m., I was on patrol. I was on my way
can't
back
say
to the
anything, my
truck after
messages keep
checking
getting
building
mute.
number 2. Just then, the radio crackled, and someone spoke. I see you.
Oh.
Ran down my spine. Since I was working alone, there was no one to radio me. I asked who it was. There was no answer. There was only one possibility. It meant someone was using a walkie-talkie
saying
in the
Mema
office,
of horror
which
and
meant they
agony.
were watching me via CCTV. I hid on the side of the building, a blind spot, where the CCTV couldn't capture me. I thought about what to do. I heard the radio again. Where are you hiding?
Purple guy?
Ew,
No idea
bro.
how he got onto the property. The entrance was clearly locked. Confused, I spoke into the radio. You must not be here. If you do not leave immediately, I'll call the police. There was silence once again. A short while later, I heard the sound of a door opening and closing in the distance. Judging by the direction and distance, it was the security booth. I quickly got into a truck and
Drive
headed
out.
toward the booth. Then, in the darkness, I saw the silhouette of someone standing in front of it. He ran toward the back of building number 1.
Where's he
I drove
going?
slowly
What?
toward the booth in the truck. A walkie-talkie lay on the ground. The door was open. I grabbed the baton from my belt and slowly stepped inside. Fortunately,
We're about to whip
there was
him?
no one there. However, I noticed something. A small box was sitting on the desk. There was no label on it, just a plain
Why
box.
is he following?
But something about it.
That's a
felt
good
wrong,
question.
Like I shouldn't touch it.
Open up that
I
box.
reached for my phone to call the police. That's when I heard something behind me. I froze. Then I slowly turned around. A hand was sticking out from behind the door, and in that hand was a pistol aimed right at me. Then I heard a man's voice say,
Damn,
Ah.
already dead.
I froze on the spot. My heart started pounding as if it would burst. A moment later, the hand disappeared, and I ran over, closed the door, and locked it. Then I called the police. While waiting for them, I hid under the desk and trembled. Sometime later, the police arrived, but they couldn't find
Bro
him.
was trolling.
They searched the area, then turned
I
their
wonder what's
attention
in the
to
box.
on the desk. One of the officers opened it. Inside was a pistol.
From now on, it's just you and me, a one-on-one gunfight. Let's see who survives in this warehouse before dawn. That is crazy.
And a note. It read,
From now on,
Oh, I didn't know he was gonna read it for me.
you and me, a one-on-one gunfight. Let's see who
Is that Darth Vader?
in this warehouse before dawn.
The police searched the entire warehouse but couldn't find him. The only thing they found was a hole in the fence. I ended up
wanted to
quitting
do-
my job as a security guard that same day. I still don't know what that guy wanted from me.
Darth
Whether
Maul.
he
You
really
should have
wanted
just
to
opened up that box, brother.
gunfight with me, or if it was just some kind of sick joke.
The friend sleeping beside me.
It happened back in 2023.
Oh, it's the same
I
art
was
style
18
dude
years
again.
old at the time, living away from home for my studies in a small
Did we
town.
watch this one?
The place I rented was at the far corner of the
Wait, no,
small
this is a new
colony.
one, I think.
It was a wide area surrounded by walls as a boundary, and the houses were arranged with 4 in each direction, forming a
OMG,
square.
the art style
The
is
middle
back.
area was open and empty, which we used for air drying clothes.
Wait a minute.
Or sitting around. The area was arranged with. It was a
Hold up.
small town.
Wait, that was a girl? I swear I saw just this front view, did not see the back of the hair, and thought this was a dude with a
The
shortcut.
place I rented was at the far corner of a small colony. It was a wide area surrounded by walls as a boundary, and the houses were arranged with 4 in each direction, forming a square. The middle area was open and empty, which we used for
I did not know that.
or sitting around with friends in the evenings who also rented rooms there. About the house, each one had 3 rooms and long porches connecting them. Behind our boundary, there were train tracks, so every time a train went by, it was very noisy, and our house used to shake a little. About my story, it happened at night, as usual, after eating
Oh my god, damn, them eyes are creepy.
Not wanting to study,
Creepier than a whole video.
I used my phone for a while, and then went to sleep. At some point, I
Miss that,
started to wake up around 1 a.m., and I felt like my friend was sleeping beside me. Then I opened my eyes and
That's
looked
mad
at her,
creepy.
but she wasn't there. Fully awake now, I looked around for my friend, but I didn't see her
I am
anywhere.
sorry. I
Then,
can't take
I
these
don't know
stories
why or what I
seriously
was
with this
thinking, I checked
animation.
under my bed to see if she was there, but she wasn't. I looked
Nah,
around my
that's
room.
how it happens,
see,
you know.
my
You
room
gotta
was
lock
small,
in. Gotta be. It's serious right now, alright?
with only my bed, a table, and a wooden
I think
Elmira
for a
without
1-1,
doors,
that's why they're so good.
so I would have seen her if she was there, but she wasn't. Then I thought maybe she went outside to sit with others, because I could hear some of our friends still outside on the porch due to the summer heat. Then I checked my windows and door, but everything was locked from the inside. I started to become really confused.
Dang, you locked
thinking,
it?
How did she leave the room without opening the door? How was that possible? Then, dumbfounded, I sat back on my bed and started to think
Why is
from
she
the
sleeping in
time I went
jeans?
to sleep to when I woke up.
Bruh, that's a good question.
Then it hit me. There was no...
I've done it before. It's not comfortable. But I've done it before because there's been times where I low-key just didn't take my jeans off, fell asleep, bro. And I woke up, I was in jeans. I was like, wait a minute.
one there to begin with. I had gone to bed alone. It was my room. I didn't have a roommate. I felt so dumb. How could I get so confused? But the feeling of someone sleeping beside me...
Yeah, of course you don't have a roommate. You should know
I
that.
swear, I felt like we were sharing the same pillow, their head right beside mine. But then I brushed it off, thinking it was because in the past few nights, my sister had visited me and stayed over. After overthinking it for a while, I fell asleep. The next day, I went to my friends, saying good morning to everyone and asking how late they stayed outside. Then I shared my weird experience from the night before, joking that my brain had played a game on me. Then 2 of them looked at me and one said,
I don't think it's just your brain playing tricks on you. I
Why?
had the same experience.
Oh,
a few nights ago.
okay.
There was someone sleeping beside me.
She shared that it wasn't her roommate because her roommate was back home at the time. But unlike me, she actually saw someone lying right beside her. She was terrified and didn't want to look at them directly, so she closed her eyes and pulled the covers over herself. I felt
How did
scared
that happen?
after that experience.
You sure somebody's not playing a prank?
Holy Bible beside me.
Oh my god, the
I
Holy
prayed
Bible over here.
before going to sleep to feel safe and protected. I was so glad it was my first and last
Bro, don't let him get you.
of something so weird. I hope it never returns
Bro
again.
sleeping with
but
the
sometimes
Bible.
I still wonder what it was. Was it just my brain confusing me? Or something entirely paranormal?
Ew, bro. Get your nasty ass out of here. The large man I ran into at the theater.
I grew up in a small town in Pennsylvania. There was only one small theater in our neighborhood, and people just called
Oh,
it
this is in Pennsylvania. No wonder you got some creepy shit going on.
the theater. It wasn't really a professional theater. It was more like a high school auditorium that had been slightly decorated. That night, I went with 2 friends
just
to
knocked
see a
himself
play
GG.
put on by a local theater group. Honestly, I didn't expect much from the show.
Is that, what's
I
her
just went
name?
because I had no-
Is this, what's her name, bro? What's her name? That one kid, is that Snow White? Is that her name? I don't fucking know.
else to do.
That one
I
Disney
think it's
princess.
Snow White.
Yeah,
But
Snow White.
during
That's what I was
the
thinking.
The play, someone in the back row kicked my seat hard. At first, I didn't turn around. I figured it might have been an accident. But after a while, they kicked me again. This time, it was hard.
Bruh. Straight beef, and I was
straight
straight beef.
I turned around. A hulking man was staring straight at me. He was completely expressionless. There was not a single expression.
Is bro
on his
good?
face. Usually, if someone accidentally kicks a seat, they would make an apologetic face or say something.
Yeah, they would apologize, but who is doing this, bro?
Hunchback.
Stared at me without saying a word. I was a little annoyed, but
Bro
not
is
wanting
locked
to
into the
cause
show.
trouble unnecessarily, I decided to focus on the play again. However, shortly after, he kicked my seat again, and I didn't know what
Bruh.
to do about the situation.
Maybe he just got restless leg syndrome or whatever it is, bro. And he can't stop moving his legs, so he moved his leg and kicked your seat on accident like 5 times in a row.
It was still a long time before the play ended, and since I couldn't strike up a conversation with him, I was at a loss. I silently mouthed to him, "Is something wrong?" He stared at me for a moment, then slowly nodded. Anxiety
What
rose
the?
deep from within my chest. A moment later, he pointed his finger toward his foot. My gaze dropped, and the moment I saw his foot, I was horrified. A knife was hidden inside his shoe.
Oh, man.
Then, he quietly put his finger to his mouth and
Oh, nah, this man got something going on.
There were an enormous number of scars on his hands. It even looked like there was blood on them. So I realized he wasn't just playing a prank. I couldn't understand what I had done wrong to deserve this man threatening
Bro
me
is
like
just
this.
feeling silly goofy.
At the same time, the play I was watching was
Yo!
so my anxiety
Yo, this foreshadowing is crazy.
was through the roof. There were scenes in the middle of the play where the lights would suddenly go out and create a terrifying atmosphere. Then, suddenly, the lights went out again, and there was a moment when I couldn't see anything in front of me.
What if bro is just a part of the play and he's like, I don't know, they got like some set up crazy thing about to happen.
Screamed with joy and excitement. At that moment, I felt something cold touch the back of my neck, and I screamed. A moment later, when the lights came back on, I turned
Interactive
around
play. Wow,
and saw
wow.
a man touching his pants.
This is what I'm saying, he might be a part of it. What if it's some crazy, like,
To my neck,
thing going on here?
sliding it back in his pants. I couldn't sit there any longer. My body began to tremble. I whispered to my friends that I was leaving and went outside. My friends looked at me with bewildered expressions.
Does it happen to them too?
Outside, I texted them that I was going home. I was terrified that the crazy man would chase me, so I ran like crazy.
Why did they run like that?
I quickly got into my car, locked the doors, and texted my friends to come out as fast as they could. A short while later, my friends left the venue and got into my car.
They're probably like, what the heck? Why did you leave?
I briefly explained the situation to them and drove off. That is when I saw
They
the
traced
man
the car.
standing at the entrance of the
Oh,
venue.
and there he is.
He lifted his t-shirt, and several knives were hanging from his belt. I couldn't tell.
Okay, clearly bro just has an actual issue.
Brown, though I couldn't tell if they were rusty or what. He pulled out the longest one and aimed it at me. It was a large knife that looked about 12 inches long. It felt incredibly ominous. I rushed home and never went near that venue again.
Let's not call the
I have a
police
feeling
when
that
there
the
is a
man
man
didn't
who
only
is
do that to
possibly
me.
dangerous.
What? Nah, for real though.
Of course,
Wait, hold
he did
on.
it again. I have a feeling that the man didn't only do that to me. Of course,
Oh, so maybe he did that or maybe he didn't.
it could have been a simple prank, but looking at the numerous scars on his hand,
Why the... Okay, this is crazy. Why would they do that though? Why would he
Just
prank?
touched everyone with some guy tweaking.
Unless bro is just... No, I don't think that's a prank, bro. I think he's actually crazy.
You
The
know
man's...
your cause.
The man standing in the road.
my name is Ayana. I'm 17 years old now, but this occurred when I was 7. We had just moved to a new
7?
state. Everything felt odd.
7? 7? 7? 7? 7? Who 7? 7?
The streets, the buildings,
7,
even the silence
6,
had
7.
a weight to it.
Okay, we gotta
Mom,
actually log in.
Let's call her Yvonne. Was always waiting for me at the bus stop after school, no matter what. It was our
8989.
routine, comforting and safe. But this day was different. The bus slowed to a stop. The door creaked open.
Why you got a W
and I
on your
stepped
backpack?
out, alone. No mom. No familiar face. The wind was sharp, almost whispering, and the sun was just low enough to stretch shadows across the cracked pavement. I looked both ways. Empty. Not a single soul. I stood frozen, heart pounding. I remember thinking, where is she? My tiny fingers clutched my backpack as I took slow steps toward the gas station.
Yo, that side profile was crazy.
A few blocks away, the only place I recognized. That's when I saw him. Across the street, a man just standing there. He hadn't been there before, I swear it. One moment, the sidewalk was empty. The next, he was there, like he had risen out of the shadows. His clothes were dark,
Who is this guy? He think he from some anime or something.
his face hard to make out, but I could feel his eyes on me, unmoving, watching.
Blow look like an anime character.
Didn't speak, didn't take a single
He's
step.
just standing
Every hair
there,
on my body stood
menacingly.
up.
Bro, you are not
Screamed,
SpongeBob.
run. So I did. I sprinted toward the gas
James Charles is crazy. Ain't no way you just said James Charles.
station. Lungs burned.
Ain't no way you just said James Charles. Hi, sisters. I'm gonna murder you right now. You can't do anything about it.
Eyes stinging from fear. My legs moved on autopilot. All I could think was,
Get the hell out of here. Run!
don't look back. Inside the gas station, I found a corner and dropped to the floor. I pretended to cry, not because I wanted attention, but because I was too afraid to ask for help. 3 older women.
Yo,
were
them
nearby.
Doritos and Cheetos, bruh. That doesn't even look like a bag of Doritos. And oh my god, the 3 ugly triplets.
I hoped they'd come over, and they did.
No, they're
They
getting
asked
a lawsuit.
questions. Where's your mom?
Lawsuit in the chat right there.
You live. But I didn't have answers. We had just moved. All the buildings looked the same. They were about to take me to the police when a car
There's like a
screeched
Doritos
to a
pillow.
stop outside. It was an Uber, and my mom jumped out, tears already falling from her face. She ran in and grabbed me like she thought she'd never see me again. That
What?
night,
What
she
happened?
told me the truth. She had a job interview and got stuck in traffic. When she finally arrived,
Okay, that makes sense. But you're telling me you can't pull out... She ain't got no phone? You can't pull out the phone and text her real quick saying, oh, I'm busy. I'm sorry. I got stuck in traffic.
at the bus stop, I wasn't there. She panicked. She looked everywhere. Then a man, that man, appeared across.
Batman. As you say Batman, that's what it sounds
She
like.
panicked. She looked everywhere. Then a man, that man, appeared across.
Batman or that man?
He pointed and said,
She ran towards the gas station.
Why is he talking like that? Oh, nah, he got a slow-mo voice. They put an effect on his...
"That's it. Just that one line." My mom looked up to
OMG,
thank him,
Batman.
but he was gone.
Justice
Not walking
for
away,
Gotham.
not turning a corner, just gone. To this day, we don't know
James
who
is
he
back.
was, but I remember what I felt when I
James!
saw him, and I'm not sure if he was trying to help me, or watching me, or something else.
Okay, that was a good one. Not gonna lie, that was a good one. 3 true scary stories animated. Let's watch.
When I was 12, my family lived in a rental house near our soda dealership. Most days I was home alone. The ground
Okay.
floor had been converted into a storage area, stacked with boxes and soda cases, leaving almost no space to move around. Because of this, my sister and I mostly stayed on the second floor,
Hype
each
for the
in our own
invincible
room.
animation.
The staircase leading
Yo.
down faced a window that originally overlooked a veranda. But since the ground floor had turned into a stockroom, the veranda outside that window was now packed tightly with empty soda cases and boxes, stacked so high you could barely see beyond
Soda
them.
dealership, they
Only
be
one person
selling
could
illegal
squeeze through
soda.
when the main door to the terrace was
Maybe
open.
that's what's
Just
going
enough
on here.
space for workers to keep piling up the empties. One morning, I was hurrying.
Why is she
downstairs
running like that?
out the back door. As usual, I grabbed the
Oh my
stair rail
God.
and swing my body left toward the kitchen and the exit, but something stopped me mid-motion. Through the window at the base of the stairs, through the murky, cluttered view
Running
of that
absolutely
terrace,
nowhere.
I saw someone standing
Ain't that
outside.
just you? It look exactly like you.
First,
Oh
eyes
my
were
god, that
drawn to
definitely
their
is.
Shirt. It looked familiar.
That look exactly like you. Clone
It was the
2.
exact same shirt I was wearing. I froze, staring at the figure. My gaze locked on their chest.
Bro, that might just be your
Something didn't feel
reflection.
right, but I couldn't
know.
look away. Then slowly, I raised
Shadow
my
clone.
eyes to their face, and that's when I saw it.
Uh-oh.
It was me. Same shirt, same hair. Same
Muscle
face,
Man Green.
but not the same expression. This version of me was staring downward with a disturbing smile on their face.
Ew.
A smile I didn't recognize, one that didn't belong to me. It felt wrong, twisted in a way that made my skin crawl.
Yeah, I
stood
wonder
there,
why.
Completely frozen.
A Minecraft
as this
zombie.
Other me.
Yo,
slowly
that's
began
really
to
what it
lift
be
their
like,
head.
though.
like it was
Muscle
about to
man
meet
or girl
my
wars
gaze.
good bros. Zero.
Panic surged through me. I
You
didn't
know
want
who
our eyes
else
to
is
meet.
staring
I didn't
downward?
want to see
My
what was
mom.
behind that smile. Before
Yo.
I could look at me, I bolted. I ran
Yeah,
straight
run
out
out.
the back door and found my sister, telling her everything that had just happened. Of course, she didn't believe me. She said it was probably just a reflection in the window, or
That's what
maybe
I thought.
imagined the whole thing.
But
I know what I
that
saw.
didn't look right.
It wasn't a reflection. It moved differently. It smiled in a way I never have, and it was waiting to look me in the eyes. Even now, as an adult, long after we moved out of that house, I still think about that moment. I still remember that smile. And sometimes...
So
I
did
still
nothing
see it
ever
in my
happen?
dreams.
Or was it just that? Oh, wow. Okay, so that was the whole story. That was kind of mid.
Hello, my name is Heather, and this story took place a few years ago.
What the
I
hell?
often stayed
Introduction.
home alone for a couple of hours, but this particular night my parents were out of town for the weekend, and it was the first time I had to sleep alone with no one else in the house. This didn't bother me though, because I had just finished a stressful report
That's not
for
even
school
English.
that took a whole week, and I was ready to relax. My parents left at around 8 p.m. that night, and I decided to put a movie on and eat some pizza. It started raining heavily out of nowhere.
Spooky.
And when this happened, my parents always told me to go outside and pull the pool cover out and over the pool. This was because if we didn't, the pool would overflow.
Okay.
Anyway, I was kind of nervous to
That
go
makes
do it
sense.
because it had already gotten dark outside, and behind my house was a forest.
Is it
where
just-
wild
what is that, a
animals often
cat?
Came out at night. I decided to
In
wait the
getting my
rain out to
comments
see if it would
removed
stop,
again.
but after 20 minutes,
Brother,
it didn't.
this is a great
I
app.
sighed, then decided to put my feet
Man, I'm going back to Twitch.
and go to the backyard. I turned on all the deck lights and walked toward the pool. That's when I noticed something weird.
I want my sound
The pool
alerts back.
was already halfway covered. I was confused. It had only started raining 20 minutes ago, and I didn't think it was covered when my parents left. So why was it covered now? I tried to convince myself it was the wind, but deep down...
We all know it
couldn't
wasn't just the
have
wind.
been. The cover has to be manually adjusted. Still not convinced it was the wind, I approached the pool with caution and continued to cover it.
I'm not saying
Then
anything
suddenly,
bad.
What are
I
we
heard a
doing
noise.
there?
It wasn't anything crazy, nothing more than a branch swaying in the wind, but I was already
you
on
hear that?
edge, so
It's
I
the winds
noticed
of
it right away.
change.
As I looked into the darkness of the trees, that's when I noticed a flash of light. It was
Ooh,
very
there's
quick,
just somebody in the
but
back
whoever
walking
was
around the
holding
woods for some reason.
flashlight realized I was looking. This made me extremely nervous, so I quickly ran back inside, locked the doors, and went to my room. Since my room faced the backyard, I made sure to keep the deck lights on so I could look through my window and see if anyone was there. I began
Nothing's
trying
gonna
to
happen,
calm
is
my
it?
mind
Or is
down.
something gonna
Yes.
pop up in
So
the
I started
pool?
knitting in my room while periodically checking my window to see if there was any movement. After about an hour, my mind calmed down and I stopped checking as much.
Okay.
Just
W
one
locking.
last time, I looked out of my window and saw that the pool
Bro's
cover
gonna go
had
for a
come off
swim.
again. This time, it did look like the wind could
Just
have pushed it
okay.
backward.
Somebody
so I
in
went
there?
outside
Somebody going for a
once again
swim?
And covered it. The rainstorm had slowed down, so I knew this was probably the last time I had to do it. After a couple of hours, I decided it was time for bed.
No, that's real.
I double
Bro, I
checked
am
my
mad tired
alarms
today.
and made sure the alarm system was on.
But I had a
If
stream.
you
Gotta
wonder
lock
why
in.
I didn't turn the alarm on
Did you say
before.
it?
No sleep.
Because it's an automatic system that turns on every night at 11 p.m. I turned off all the deck lights except one, the motion sensor light. At this point, my parents had called to check in, but I didn't want to worry them, so I just told them that everything was okay, which technically it was.
I mean, I
There
guess
had been no
so.
movement in the forest so far. Then I went to sleep. I woke up at around 2 a.m. because the motion sensor
Uh-oh.
light turned on. I slowly got up from my bed.
Was somebody
looked
out there
out my
and they were
window,
like, yo,
which
we
was right
found
above
somebody
me.
that broke in or
As my
something?
vision adjusted, to my confusion,
Oh, nah.
I noticed
I thought that was
pool
like the
cover was
police.
off again. Was this some kind of sick joke? Did whoever was doing this just want to keep me coming outside? I looked into the distance, but saw no lights or movement.
Maybe you
I
just
went
getting
outside
pranked.
again, this time with a knife, and walked up
Might
to
just
the
be getting a
pool
big old
to
prank
cover it.
going on.
That's when I noticed it. To my horror,
Oh.
there was someone.
No,
inside.
What
Once
the
you go to
hell?
swim, let him swim.
How was that man
Even with the
swimming
cover
there?
on, there was still enough room for someone to comfortably breathe. They
I
were
was gonna
dressed
say,
in
how
all
was that
black,
man literally
with a
just sitting in the
hoodie
water,
on in the
about to,
farthest
like, I thought he
corner
couldn't
of the
breathe.
pool.
And I'm gonna be honest,
I
bro,
was
what are
in
you
shock.
doing in the water with a
Then
hoodie?
suddenly, they they started swimming extremely fast toward the ladder, which was right in front of me. And when I say fast, I mean unnaturally
Hez
fast.
just
I
swimming.
screamed, stupidly dropped my knife.
Bro might win the Olympic medal with this
As I was
swimming.
locking the door,
He looks
the
like he's
person,
doing
who
that
I
one
now
Murby's
realized was a
challenge.
man, ran up to
What
the
is
glass
bro
sliding
doing?
doors and
Oh,
started
God.
banging on them with the knife.
Bro,
I was
chill.
horrified. I called the police right away and hid in my bathroom until they arrived. My parents came
dropped
home
the
shortly
knife.
after
Major
and
fumble.
informed me
Damn.
they had actually covered the pool completely before they left.
Of course,
So the man
but
had
that
been
man
working
came
in
in
the
back in.
backyard
He went and
way
opened
longer
it.
than I had thought. The police caught the man and arrested him. They later informed my family that the man was homeless and had previously been a professional swimmer who had
Oh my God, I was right. I literally said he would win an Olympic medal for swimming fast. Bro, I literally called that shit.
This made sense considering how fast he swam. Anyway, this happened to me a few years ago, and I still can't look at pools the same. Even now, when I
You
recall
called
the
it.
moment that
Yo,
man
that's
started
actually
swimming
wild.
toward me
I
at
can't
full
believe
speed,
that.
I still get goosebumps.
Damn.
I want
Yo,
to share
appreciate
an
it, Rose.
experience that happened about 8 months ago.
What
My
is
name
this?
Ashwarya, and I study computer science at a university. I can't say the name, but it's located in
Yeah, you want to dox it.
My
I get
college is
it.
near a reserved forest area, and I stay in a campus hostel. The building has 5 floors, and I live on the 4th floor. Our room has 4 beds, and I share it with 3 other friends. Every night after dinner.
Oh my
we
God,
usually
it's
sit
always
by
the
window
third
and
one that
gossip. Just
always
normal
has this
things
art
like
style.
boys,
Like,
fashion, and
it's
new
always the
trends.
final one.
From our
Bro
window,
doesn't
we can
want
see a
to
beautiful
dox
lake
as if
behind
this
the hostel.
story is
It
real.
became our routine. We'd
I
sit
go
there,
to
talk,
university
and
in a
admire
few
the view of
months.
nature,
Will something like
sometimes
this happen
staying
to
up
me?
until 2
Oh
in the
no,
morning.
look out.
This
But
art
one night
style
was
again?
different. I had a headache.
It's
so I
always
went
the
to sleep.
final one. If you
But
notice,
around
every
10,
video is always
one
the
of my
final one
friends,
that has his
Sid,
art style.
had been fighting with her boyfriend, so she wasn't in the mood to talk either and went to bed early too. The other 2 stayed up by the window like usual. At some point in the night, I think around 1 in the morning, my friend Prabalika
what the
suddenly
hell?
woke me up. She was shaking,
Why?
terrified. I asked her what was wrong, but she couldn't even speak. She just pointed
Bro hit the
toward
point in the window.
I got up quietly and walked over. Sid and my other friend, Jesse.
Why do they walk like that? It's like they're walking, but they're bro hit the point in the window.
I got up quietly and walked over. Sid and my other friend, Jesse.
Why do they walk like that? It's like they're walking, but they're not walking. You know what I mean? Like they're walking, but they're not getting anywhere. It's like they're walking in place.
At first, I couldn't even process what I was seeing. It didn't feel real. Down near the lake, there were 2
Bro.
men, half naked,
What is
dancing around.
what is wrong about that? They're just doing some dumb
People.
crap.
I couldn't tell how many.
Unless it's some
Some were
ritual or some
standing
shit.
still. Others looked like they were praying. We couldn't see everything clearly, but one thing was certain.
Lag,
They were
bro.
performing
What you mean
some
lag?
kind of ritual, and it wasn't just any night. It was a new moon. Where I'm from.
Okay, wait a minute. That
on
is a little
moon
sus.
nights, devil worshippers perform rituals.
Yeah, the
Sometimes
stream
even
bugged out.
sacrifices.
Brother.
To impress the devil. All 4 of us stood there, completely frozen, staring out the window.
Bro, I love
It was the
TikTok, bro.
first time we had ever seen something like that. I felt this deep sense of unease.
Man,
So I
it's
said,
out booty.
not watch this. Let's just go
Every
to sleep.
stream.
One of my friends quickly recorded a short video before we turned away. The next day, we showed it to a few of our other friends.
We're
Everyone
all
was
moving
shocked.
back to Twitch,
But
right?
that wasn't the worst part.
Low key, I'm not gonna lie,
Later,
maybe.
our other
Wait,
friends
hold on. What were
showed,
they
"Watch
videoing?
this. Let's just go to sleep. One of my friends quickly recorded a short video before we turned away. The next day, we showed it to a few of our other friends.
Oh, they're videoing them
Everyone was
guys.
shocked. But that wasn't the worst part. Later that day,
Oh.
we heard that a dead body
Yo, that
had been
man's
found
cooked.
in the lake. A boy from our college. We were completely speechless.
Yo, that
Police
is diabolical, bro. The
investigation
fly
was
flying
closed
on him.
Within a few weeks, they ruled
Not
it
the
a
fly.
suicide, but there was no note.
I need
no
my channel
explanation,
points, bro.
Nothing.
Bro, you ain't getting none of those.
Rumors started. Some people said the boy was involved with a cult. Others said he was trying to expose them. And when they found out,
Who even
they killed
knows
him.
at this point,
No one
man?
knows the truth. Maybe
It's all
it was just a
theories.
rumor, or maybe it wasn't. But sometimes I still think about that night, and I wonder if I hadn't said, "Let's sleep," would we have seen more? Or maybe something.
You told me you wanted to see that?
This totally happened.
That
right
scream,
now.
bro. The real foot.
to see.
Hold up.
What?
What the? It was real?
Is real. Oh my god, it's real.
There was a real one? Oh my god, ain't no way he's getting real stories. They got 5 of them.
My name is
Should NT
Rian.
go to
I'm a girl, and
university,
this
Hector,
experience
because
isn't mine. It
WTF
happened to
was
my
that?
sister. I'm currently 17 years old. This situation
Whoa! Hold up.
my sister. I'm currently
Why is she
17
moving her arm like that? Hold up.
years
Hey,
old.
yo.
Not
This
this
situation
anime
happened when
style.
my sister was very
Hey,
young,
yo.
about 5 or 6. It was our relative's birthday
Oh
party.
my god, not the
At
no
that
eyes
time,
again.
I wasn't born yet. My sister and I
Who
have
animated
a
this?
5-year
Why is she caressing
While
that?
people were enjoying the party, casually eating and celebrating my
No odd
relative's
people again.
birthday, my sister approached my dad and said,
Dad, who was that green figure in
The balloons.
the house?
What is that voice
my
acting?
dad was confused and asked what figure she meant. She told him.
It's a guy. He looks green and his body has muscles, but he doesn't have
Bro,
a head.
it's the headless
Everyone
horseman. I
who
don't
heard
know.
it was suddenly terrified. How could a young girl say something like that? My dad is a very religious person, someone who believes he has a deep relationship with
Copy-pasted the
God.
balloons.
Because
Yo,
of
pray
that,
up.
he stayed calm.
They did copy
He
paste
believed
them.
my sister and
That was
asked
an
her to
easy job
point
for him.
where the figure was. My sister pointed toward the top of the stairs. My dad gently told her it was nothing, so she wouldn't
I
be
feel like
scared,
Nuke's top
since she
5.
was
They ain't
far
gonna
too
find
young
nothing.
to see something like that. Then he tried to distract her and let her go back to enjoying the party. While my sister was tell-
Hold up. Blur on camera. Blur on camera. Let's fix that real quick.
telling me this story, she
This better
explained
than
that
Nuke's
the
I'ma be
house had
so
been
dead-ass.
built in the 1980s.
I mean, yeah, it's got at
so
least
it was
something more
already pretty
interesting.
old. She also said the house always felt dark and creepy. Even when the lights were on, it somehow still felt dark, like the place carried an uncomfortable feeling.
I don't
that
know
never
about that. I
left.
think you just seeing
She told
things
me she
or
would never
pretending
forget what
that
she
things
saw
are
that
going on
night,
here.
because she still remembers it exactly the same way.
This was animated in Adobe Flash.
That was
Eyes
it?
on the little girl reminded me of Boss Baby.
This happened when my father moved from quarter number 3 to quarter number 5. The 5th building was located right beside a huge park. It was a large park where children had stopped playing, or if they did play, it was only in the far corner.
Bro, the
Boss Baby
abandoned
has
park.
me
People
fried.
avoided the park.
The
Even
abandoned
tall,
park.
stout
What the
white
hell,
men
bro? Why you looking like that? Bro looking way too serious over
who
here.
at night were afraid to go near it. One night, at around 2 in the morning, my dad woke up and saw my grandmother standing by the window watching something outside.
Oh
He tried
no.
to ask her
He
what
looks
was
curious.
happening because he could tell something wasn't right. My grandmother
Grandma tweaking!
told my father to stay quiet and pointed her finger toward the park. In the distance, what my father saw gave him chills for the rest of his life. He saw a seesaw going up and down,
Bro.
and the swing
Seesaw!
moving back and forth, all by
That is
themselves.
not a grandma.
My father watched
Ah, yeah, I agree.
as the swing and the seesaw continued.
That don't look like no
their
grandma. That look like auntie.
Later, people
Seesaw.
said that a Christian family had lived in the quarters a few years earlier and had a young child.
What's with always
The
the
boy was
Christians in it?
mischievous and spent most of his days playing in that same park. One day, while he was playing there, a terrible accident happened. The seesaw came down and fatally struck him in the head. This story truly
Damn! The seesaw of doom.
scared both my father and me. Since that incident, the large park that was once full of people has remained strangely quiet.
Yeah, it's abandoned because a kid
Sometimes,
died.
the only
That makes
sound
sense.
you can hear is the slow creaking of the seesaw and the swing.
What, a ghost? This gonna be the ghost of the kid? Oh my god, bro. Really? These are the shortest stories. What kind of scam? Oh no, grandma.
I'd like to share a scary story.
Oh my god, it's the person with the 5 head again.
That my aunt told me about my
Bro
grandma.
got insta
For some
code by a
context,
seesaw.
this story took place back in Vietnam, not too long after the Vietnam War. My grandma was 6 years old and lived in a very old house. The house had been built over an area where many people
Yo,
died.
that house,
Back then,
yeah, that house does not look good.
Vietnam was a very poor country.
Bro, they did not need to show all this. Like, what?
People didn't always have the time or resources
Oh, my
to
phone.
find and bury all
That
the
girl has a
bodies
lot to
after
think
the
about.
war. Some were simply left where they fell, and houses were later built over the land where they had died. One night, my grandma attended a family gathering. Relatives had
Why
gathered
is
her
bro moving like that? Bruh, this is called 5 True Horror Stories Animated. This shit can't even be counted as an animation, bro.
house to
These
celebrate
feel like the
and
escapades
chat.
from the
My
Ghost
grandma,
Stories anime.
being a child, went off to play
These
with
are
her
literally
cousins
still
and minded their
images.
business.
Oh wait, okay, there's a little animation.
Her uncle called for my grandma, but she didn't come. She was missing.
What do you mean look behind
After a few
me?
minutes of calling her, her relatives started to worry. When they asked her cousins where she was, they said they didn't know. Everyone quickly began searching
They
everywhere
tweened
for
this
her.
shit, they
Almost
didn't
an hour
animate it.
passed before her uncle finally found her, crouched behind a door. He asked her why she didn't answer
Yeah,
when he
this was
called
not
her.
even
She
animated.
slowly looked at him with
What
bloodshot
the
eyes.
hell?
Then she replied in Vietnamese.
How dare you speak to me?
That is
like
not me.
that? Do you know how old I am compared to you?
Her voice was not her own.
Slideshow
It
eye
sounded
animation.
that of a grown woman. Her uncle tried to talk to her and reasoned with her, but she kept shouting at him in a crazed manner. Worried, her relatives reached out to a shaman. He was
What
very
the-
old and had apparently rid people of spirits and possessions his entire life. He took one look at my grandma and immediately frowned.
This child is possessed by a very old spirit.
He said,
If we do not remove the
Who
spirit,
the hell is this?
your soul
Shenron?
will be lost forever.
The
White's
old
bro
man
got that
told her
deep
uncle to
ass
bring her
voice.
to his home in the mountains at midnight, and then he left. Until then, my grandma just sat in the same corner, mumbling to herself. When the time finally came, her uncle tried to get my grandma
Bros
to leave
from
the
Avatar:
house,
The
but
Last
she resisted.
Airbender.
You just pull that
It was
man
as
out.
if the spirit knew what they were planning to do. It knew they were going
This
to
kid
drive
got
it out.
possessed.
Her uncle, with the help of several relatives, had to basically drag my grandma to the shaman's
Yo,
house.
pull that.
She screamed the
Pull
whole
her out!
way and refused to walk. But when they reached the shaman's yard, my grandma suddenly started moving on her own. She slowly began walking inside
Why
the
are
house
they
on
just
her
Not the
knees.
sitting
soft
there?
The
screen.
spirit was clearly trying to resist. It was as if someone...
Why were they literally just sitting there while she walked away in the same pose?
The house.
Bro, they were lazy as hell with this animation.
When they got inside, the shaman told them that the
Bro, who'd
spirit
they
was
hire? They
very
hired a dude
powerful.
for $1 off Fiverr for this?
He said he was already old and weak, and if he performed the exorcism, he might die.
Bro, and the
The
crazy
shaman-
thing is, hold
They
up.
were mad lazy with this.
The crazy thing is this has over 100K views and they barely did animation, bro. This is like the infinite money glitch.
This One Punch Man Season 3 animation.
This literally is infinite money glitch, bro. Over 100K views, bro. They just easily animate this. They probably get animated done in a day with this.
According to him, he had spent his entire life doing this work, and letting my grandma die now
What's
would
with the
make his
hate?
life's work meaningless. My grandma was placed in the middle of the room.
You can't
It was
hate on
covered
this
with
animation,
walls.
bro? Is that what you're saying?
Each one
Look at the
carried
animation.
symbols written on them. She remained on her knees. In front of her was a long sheet of paper that stretched across the floor toward the shaman. At each corner
What
of the
is
room,
that,
there were
salt?
small piles of salt.
Oh my god,
The
it
old
was.
man told the spirit to leave my grandma's body, then began mumbling words.
What is
that
he
no one
doing grabbing her
understood.
head like that?
Suddenly, the papers on the wall caught fire and started burning. The salt in the corners of the room turned black. My grandma began moving forward on her knees, slowly approaching the shaman.
Oh no, I think
The
he
long
might be
paper
done
in front of
for.
her started
Still drawing
burning
an
as she
animated
moved.
emo. I like it.
When she finally reached him and the last paper burned away, she
Yo.
suddenly collapsed and fell unconscious.
flames look untextured.
After that night,
Bro, gonna
she was
smash your
never
head in.
possessed
This
again.
shit look like
The
that
shaman
one show. What's
died
it called?
shortly
It looks
after
like that one
My gra-
fucking shit from Smiling Friends, bro, where they do like the weird crap or
Emma
whatever.
says she doesn't remember anything that happened that night, but all of her relatives insist that it's true, and they say they witnessed everything themselves. Apparently, after
A
the
third
incident,
eye?
my grandma
Rotoscoping?
gained what they call a third
Yeah.
sense. She could supposedly feel when spirits or strange energies were nearby, and whether they were good or bad. Honestly, I don't know much about spiritual things, but while my aunt was telling me this story, I kept getting goosebumps the entire time.
Dang, okay. That one's kind of interesting. I'm not gonna lie.
2019, when my family moved
Brother.
to a small rural... This happened back in 2019. When my family moved to a small rural town in Pennsylvania. The move happened pretty suddenly because of my dad's job. And the house we
Yo,
moved
appreciate
into
the
was an
rose.
old
Oh my god, the
stone
ball
place
flying up in the air. Look at
right
that.
next to the woods. For a while, everything was completely
Oh
normal,
my
until one
goodness.
day,
It's giving
we heard the
facade.
sound of glass shattering coming from the attic. We
Throw
all
full
froze
facing
and
out the
gathered
window.
underneath the attic entrance. My dad grabbed a baseball bat and
You're right.
slowly climbed up to check it out. We searched the
Milwaukee
entire
was 2D
attic, but
animated.
couldn't find anything
Oh my
unusual.
goodness.
The only thing wrong was the broken window. There were no signs of forced entry, no footprints, nothing. After coming back down, he looked unusually serious. and said to
Facade?
my Mom,
Honestly,
the way the
kind of.
glass broke, it kind of looks like someone smashed it from inside the
Oh
attic
my goodness.
and went out. My mom
Bro, I have to run
immediately
facade
went
again. I
home
just remembered
and
that.
told him that made no sense. If someone had climbed out through the attic window, there should have been marks on the roof. or
Facade's like
around
my
the
third,
house.
I think my
There was
third most
absolutely
popular
nothing.
video, or one of
We
them.
never figured it out. A few days later, I was walking down the hallway when I noticed the attic door slightly open. I called my dad again, and when he went up this time, there was a horrible smell. Like a strong ammonia, almost like someone had urinated up
Somebody
there.
bit a
But
big old
again,
dookie in there.
no
Why is
signs
he?
of anyone being there? No smoke.
Nah, nobody like.
Facade, but if they animated IY.
Nobody fucking like is in this position like this, bro. Looking around like that, bro. This man is like almost dead ass near in a Spider-Man pose.
No evidence.
Why
At that
is he
point,
crab
my dad
walking?
actually started suspecting me, telling me to stop messing around.
Whoa!
I swear I hadn't done
Damn
anything.
child abuse.
That night, I noticed a document file on my computer desktop that I'd never seen before.
Blood, hold on.
When I the document file
Bro, that is not Apple.
on my computer desktop that I'd never seen before. When I opened it, there was only one sentence written inside. A spirit pissed in the attic. I just sat there,
That's Peach.
staring at it. Who the hell would even do something like this? I assumed
Yo,
my younger brother
W
was pulling some
prank.
stupid prank, so I confronted him. But
That's
he
what I'm
started
saying.
crying, insisting
Oh my God.
he didn't do it.
Why is he
So
crying
then,
already?
Who did?
It's not that
I
deep.
almost
A ghost
typed
peed,
back
not
into
me,
the
trust.
document asking, "What do you want?" But I stopped myself.
Bro, you sure that
and
man
just
didn't piss
deleted the
himself in there
file.
though?
Things stayed quiet for a while after that. Then one day, my brother suddenly screamed. We found him collapsed beneath the attic entrance, crying hysterically.
What?
When my parents asked what happened, he said he saw someone through the
Yeah, he
slightly
peed his
open
pants in
attic
her?
door. He said it looked
Oh.
exactly like me, but its entire body was covered in white fur, and its mouth was stretched
This is
unnaturally
definitely not a
wide
real one.
across its whole face. According to my brother, it leaned toward him and whispered,
Your brother.
Bro peed his pants.
You
Then he
chill. What the?
smiled. My dad rushed up to the attic again, but, like every other time, nobody was there.
Yo, at least he
My brother
tried
was
something.
shaking uncontrollably and had to be taken to the hospital. Thankfully, he wasn't physically harmed, but he suffered serious psychological effects for a long time afterward. After that,
Damn.
my dad permanently sealed the attic shut and
GG's.
locked it. Nothing major happened again after that. But one night, while I was outside,
Yo, why is he walking like
I
that? Bro,
looked
that's
out
that
the
Hotel
window
Mario
and
walk.
noticed something strange.
The dad
It
believes
looked
bro,
like a dim
let's
red
go.
light was glowing from inside. The problem was, there was nothing up there that could produce light. We didn't go up to check. The next day,
Oh my
the
God,
red
that's
glow
bright.
was gone, and everything looked normal again. My dad even tried researching the history of the house, hoping to find
Yo, he
out
had that
something
Hotel
happened
Mario
before.
walk, the one where
But
Martin
he
Luigi
never
are like
found
walking
anything meaningful.
at the start of the first cutscene. That's literally what it reminded me of.